everyone. This is Megan Menzano, the Senior Custom Content Specialist for Biopharma International, and I'm here with Henning Gershevsky, VP MSAT at Rentschler's Biopharma's Germany site, and Patrick Cushing, VP of Operations at Rentschler's US site. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Hi,
Thank you for
Megan.
hosting
Pleasure
us.
being here. Thanks.
All right, great. So, as a little info for our audience today, we are going to discuss the success of Rentschler's dual site model and how they've managed to navigate the tech transfer process. There's a lot to consider when you have to keep manufacturing processes, protocols, and knowledge from research and development in mind while moving to a commercial manufacturing setting. It requires planning, continuous communication, and risk management. And before we begin here, I think we have such a great team with me discussing this today because I want to say congratulations to both of you for receiving the Manufacturer of the Year for Central Massachusetts Award. I think your expertise, especially with this behind you, will be great for our audience. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, Megan. We appreciate
Th-
that.
Thanks, Megan.
So, with that great acknowledgement of the award that you have received for just your best practices and ability to set up these sites, I want to talk more about Rentschler Biopharma's dual site model with its manufacturing sites in both Germany and the US. How do the two sites work together on client projects?
Well, generally speaking, there are two different types of tech transfer projects in our view. Clients transfer a fully developed process to us, or clients work with us at one site and we transfer their product for a following phase to the other site. And in both of these instances, we offer the same reliability and commitment to our clients. Our headquarters in Laupheim, Germany, and our site in Milford, Massachusetts are closely connected. We share the same systems, standards, and mindset to deliver a seamless experience for our clients. Between our sites, we stay in constant communication through joint CMC project teams to ensure smooth tech transfers, consistent quality, and efficient project execution for our clients. In this way, we offer a true partnership that gives our clients the best of both worlds: global expertise and local support.
That's great. And I feel like with having all of these processes that collaborate with each other and work together and are already set up, that sets you up well for a tech transfer process. So I would love to know, where does a successful tech transfer process start?
It's important to know that any tech transfer is based on ensuring comprehensive planning and early alignment, importance of communication and collaboration between sites and with the clients, understanding the molecule and process robustness. Successful transfer starts well in advance with the clients before the project starts. It is important to start the initial discussions with the clients about what their project goals are and what are the needs, including the scope of the project and, very important, the timelines. Having a clearly defined scope is the basis for maintaining the project timelines and limit the change orders or amendments if required. In general, the risk profile needs to be understood. We have the time, budget, and quality. Transparency of upcoming challenges and the mitigation options are very important, and fast decision-making is key. So overall, a lack of transparency or a lack of information could significantly increase the risk of a transfer failure. At the end, clear and timely data exchange in all directions is very, very important.
Thank you so much for walking me through that process. Seems like there is a lot to get started with between the planning, risk mitigation, getting the right teams together, and using all of this information to make the best path forward for the client. I would love to think about it from a different point of view, being what do you need to consider from an operational point of view for a tech transfer?
Thanks, Megan. From an operation perspective, we start off with the intended scale of production from our client. We learn what the process requirements are in order to gauge how well the process would fit in our facility. Essentially, we perform a high-level facility fit analysis and identify the potential gaps and address those gaps with a solution-oriented mindset. Now, from an ops perspective, we also determine the high level of scope and timing of when the project would start, when the client needs either development or GMP material, and we assess our available capacity across all the teams responsible for the transfer, the production, and the testing of the products to confirm available capacity and a timeline match in our planning processes.
Great. Thank you so much for that. Henning, I wanted to go back to something you said in your previous answer about mitigating risk. And that is so important for tech transfer with so many different processes and data and sensitive information going through sites. So I would love to know, what steps do you take to mitigate risk in the tech transfer process?
Thanks, Megan. I think always understanding the risk is really important, and then to mitigate is even better. One of the most common challenges we see is the inherent difference between the sending and the receiving sides, whether it's differences in equipment, production scale, or consumables. So when transferring a process from one side to the other, these differences almost always require some degree of process adaptations. Understanding and defining scale-independent parameters is key to ensure a smooth, fast, and reliable process transfer. Determining the scope of these adaptations early and the risk mitigation strategy are critical to de-risking the transfer. Taking this systematic approach helps reduce uncertainty for both sides and sets up the transfer for a smoother path into GMP manufacturing, which ultimately benefits both the clients and their patients. We offer our clients a risk assessment that identifies potential risk in the process transfer and outlines the risk mitigation process and measures that will be implemented. When multiple viable options exist, these can be tested early on during the transfer phase of the project to ensure the resulting GMP batch is successful. Our goal is always the same: to make sure that these important therapies move reliably from early development into cGMP manufacturing.
Thank you. I really love that closing answer of just bringing it back to the patient and getting those therapies they need as smoothly and as quickly as possible, because that is our end goal at the end of the day. So when I'm thinking about the patient in mind, the client in mind, I'm starting to think about quality and compliance. So what is your approach to accelerating tech transfer without compromising quality or compliance?
Good question. So, first and foremost, the overarching goal is always preserving product quality while enabling a smooth transition between sites. We need to deliver for our clients. When it comes to accelerating transfer timelines, it takes an experienced project team that is well versed in managing risks, developing contingency plans, and removing barriers to raise the bar in terms of meeting milestones on or ahead of schedule. Trusted communication between Rentschler Biopharma sites are essential for maintaining these timelines and ensuring the process is robust and meets quality and regulatory expectations. Also, effective communication among our global project team SMEs is crucial to identify the minimal necessary process changes that Henning described. This close collaboration at Rentschler Biopharma helps determine the appropriate studies and the data needed to demonstrate process equivalence.
Great, thank you. And I've been thinking a lot about what both of you have said about your tech transfer process, how prepared you are, your expertise, which is clearly working very well on both of your sites. So I would love to know, would you be able to sum up what ways clients benefit from tech transfer with Rentschler Biopharma specifically?
Thanks, Megan. Really important question, near dear to my heart. Our clients know that with us, their innovative therapies are developed and produced with the highest level of care and service. Drug substance remains indistinguishable across both sites, ensuring consistent quality regardless of location. Dual site flexibility allows clients to meet changing production demand without changing the CDMOs, reducing risks and complexity. Continuity of expertise with one organization enables a smoother, faster, and lower scale-up risk. At the end, we offer our clients peace of mind and tailor our solutions to their molecule needs. Their projects become ours to commercialization and beyond.
Very well said. I like this idea of how much care you put into their project and how it's something that becomes more than just a client or a number, but something really important for you both. So, with that, I think you've both given us such an amazing amount of information today, and I want to thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Megan.
Megan. Thanks for having us.
This has been Megan Manzano, Senior Custom Content Specialist for Biopharma.